Welcome. Today we're learning about fascia, a substance in your body that has been quietly supporting you for your whole life. And in this lesson, we'll learn what fascia is, what it does, and how you can care for it. Let's start with a simple visual aid. If you've ever peeled an orange, you've seen the thin white layers running between the segments. And now imagine that these layers are like the fascia in your body. The shape of this orange is defined by the fascia. Everything else about the orange is scaffolding off the fascia of the orange. You can see that fascia is also creating specific compartments. You could think about this in our own body, for example, when we're thinking about differentiating between our organs, different compartments. This thin fascia also allows for gliding. And notice that as it glides, it's releasing water. This can help lubricate our tissues. Fascia holds water and it releases water as it moves and glides. Notice that the layers have different densities to them. So on the outside, this thicker white layer is a lot tougher and creates more structure. It's working very closely with the skin of the orange and it creates the form. And then you can see that it gets even thinner and also more pliable the further that we go in. Notice that it's a little bit sticky. It can adhese. Even the very thinnest, most intricate parts of this orange have a version of fascia, creating organization and structure. Fascia is also the material with which we can conduct our energy through our body. We can run currents through the body. Noticing again, there's some thicker, more specific pathways. We have these in our own body. They're organized around tension structures in the body to create more support for our biotensegrity. So we have a nice overview of what fascia looks like and how it's organized in our body, but then let's get into how it's actually moving and working within our body. I like using nets like this to describe it because fascia is like a web. Notice that when this net, this exact same material, is very thin, it's extremely flexible, pliable. It can take up a lot of volume. When this exact same material accumulates, it becomes very hard, dense. So this could be really useful, like for a ligament or a tendon. But in the form of scar tissue, this can really limit our mobility. So what we want to do is help reorganize and redistribute the fascia so that we can move really freely, easily, gliding. Let's make this just a little bit more experiential. So just moving, sense that every part of your body is interconnected. You might imagine first that you're wearing a wetsuit, or if you're wearing a material that's kind of tight to your body, like a tank top or a shirt. As you're moving, notice and feel how that shirt is getting pulled in various directions. It's not as simple as just biomechanics. It's really this full multi-dimensional web of movement. And if I were to pull on my shirt, I can see and feel the pull all the way down into other parts of the weave. Your fascia is acting like that in your body too. So just move a little bit and notice, play with that interconnection of your whole body. One other thing to note is that fascia will settle and accumulate in places where we're not moving. A great example of this is if we're in a sitting kind of lifestyle, then the fascia is going to accumulate into the places that allow us to take that sitting shape more easily. But then that fascia can become very dense and make it a little bit harder to break out of that shape that we constantly come into. So how do we care for our fascia? How do we help reorganize, rehydrate it, and make it pliable and healthy again? One potent way is through retuning our fascia, using this technique of engaging our muscles, keeping them engaged while we then lengthen them. Let's try fascial retuning. You can be sitting or standing for this. Reach one arm up. Now we're going to take a simple side bend, feeling a nice side stretch through the whole side of the body. But again, retuning adds this layer of engaging first. So take your free hand, let's make that your helper hand. Just grab the outside of your wrist. Engage the side of your body that we're going to stretch by pushing your wrist out to the side open. Feel the side body tense up. And then elongate by using your helper hand to lift and stretch up and over. So notice that this is a very active stretch. You're resisting as you move. Come back to the start. Engage, pushing your arm away. Elongate by stretching up and over. Keep the tension. Extra credit, you can tense up your ribs and try not to side bend, but your helper hand is taking you over. Let's do one more. This action is helping to reorganize and rehydrate that fascia. It acts a little bit differently than our muscles. So it takes a different type of force to reorganize and stretch it. Go ahead and relax, roll out your shoulders, and just notice what the side feels like that you stretched. Let's try the other side. Engage by pushing your arm away, tensing up the side that you want to stretch. Take that helper hand to the outside. This will give you more force, more to push against. Elongate by lifting up and stretching over. So if my helper hand wasn't here, my arm would be pushing away. Let's come back to the start. Engage, push, and elongate. It may feel like you're actually getting into some new spots that you didn't realize were tight once you add the resistance. Last one. Coming up. Your fascia is an incredible part of your body that holds all your pieces together, facilitates movement, helps your body communicate. It's really amazing. It keeps us in tune with how we feel. With simple practices like fascial retuning, you can keep your fascia healthy and your body feeling great.